Hi and welcome to another TFF panel show. With me today we have Pavel Levski, the boss of Huddersfield, Mick Oldfield, boss of Barnsley, and Gareth Crisp, boss of Crystal Palace. Evening, gents.
You're right.
Evening, Rob.
Now, this is about the 25th take. We've had huge technical difficulties today, so I'm really hoping this one comes out. I'm now in the Holiday Inn Moscow in the lobby room, trying my best to get any kind of connection. Just briefly go through your seasons, lads. Pavel, bit of a struggle in Division 2 this season.
Yeah. I didn't expect to be that bad. I mean, I was hoping to get top 10, but it didn't happen. But I have a lot of talent coming up, but it takes too long for them to get reviewed. So I will have to sell some and buy better players. I mean, higher rated, not older. Well, not completely old.
Yeah.
The ones that will be still alive in the next 2 years. Yeah. So yeah.
So interesting that you're going to change your approach a little bit. I think a few managers are going to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. Division 2 is so competitive. Pavel, you are still in a relegation scrap. There's one of 6 teams. You're one of them that could go down. Are you confident?
Yes, I'm just assuming that I will stay in Division 2.
Yeah. On to Mick. You are, for me, one of the contenders for manager of the season because Barnsley are punching way above their weight in 8th position.
Yeah, Rob, I mean, as my squad rating's 83, maybe I could have been a bit more savvy on transfer market. First season I went for youth and I struggled. I survived by the skin of my teeth, and bear in mind that I did survive on 28 points last season. We've now got Brighton on 39 with 2 games left to go. And, you know, it's been such a competitive league this year. You've got a team that's 11 points ahead of my survival points and still not safe. So it's an amazing season, a really tight league. But I have punched above my weight, Rob.
Yeah,
well above.
Definitely.
I brought in a few older heads. I think that's helped. I've still tried to stick to a youth policy if I can.
Yeah, you're doing great, and your average rating is one of the lowest as well. And obviously, Barnsley is not a big club in Division 2, so 8th position is really way above where you should be.
Oh yeah, I mean Blackburn offered me a player. Keith, he says, "Do you fancy? Is it Ajit that they pronounced it?" He says, "Do you fancy buying him?" This is only last night, and I says, "Keith, I've only got £139,000 in bank." He just laughed at me.
Yeah. I think he was talking about the Swiss Albanian striker Jetty.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and he just laughed at me, and I says, "It's no point bloody laughing, Keith." And he just laughed and cut off. He says, "You know, I'm not even interested talking to you any further. We're 139. They're a poor side."
Yeah.
I'm hoping we get some decent prize money because there's 2 players that are external, and my teeth are itching to buy them.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you who they are, though.
Sorry, a really fit blonde just walked into the lobby. I just
No problem.
Yeah, but anyway, Barnsley, you did brilliant. And Gareth, on to you. Crystal Palace. Where was I? Crystal Palace. Yes, you've had a mixed season. I think you've another one. You've done very well because you started off very slowly. I think you lost the first 4 matches and you were relegation favourites, and you've really come back strong.
Yeah, we've been a bit inconsistent, really. It's like slow start, picked it up, bad run again. Last few games we've picked it back up again, and we're sitting in 8th. I wanted a top 10 this year. Top 10 was my aim.
I've got my league tables here. Yeah.
We beat Southampton.
Yeah.
Beat Southampton next time out. We could finish 6th this season. It's like
that's amazing. Yeah, that is amazing.
Yeah.
That needs. I mean, obviously, between Manchester United and say West Ham, there's only 6 points.
Yeah.
So there's a sort of a cluster of clubs. There's not a lot in it between any of those clubs.
We lose against South. We could finish 12th, 13th. It's that tight. But
yeah.
I'm happy at the minute.
Always wanted to ask you, because in season 1 you quit Derby, you put a nice team together, you left near the end of the season. Why did you leave Derby? Because for me, Palace, I would say, are not bigger than Derby.
It's just a chance, isn't it, to manage in the Premier League? It's top league. Could I have got Derby there? Possibly. But Palace, they had a sound squad when I got here, and I didn't think we were ever in any danger of going down. But
so you felt you had something to work with at Palace?
Yeah. There's something there, and I could add to it. But it wasn't an easy choice. I had put together, I thought, quite a nice team there. But
And what do you make of Derby's season this season under Michael Bowles?
I rate Michael as a manager. I really do. He's gone in. He's changed a lot of players for the players he wants to bring in. They've struggled a little bit. I think we'd be the first to admit it. But I think given time, he'll definitely have him turn around again.
No, I think long term he's a good manager. But just looking at the situation right now, Derby's one of the 6 clubs that can go down. They are 16th position. They've got 40 points. They're a point clear. But their fixtures are not kind. They've got 2 tough games. I think Derby are in real trouble.
No, they are. They're in a lot of danger. But I think that's enough to stay up.
Well, we will find out. Now, on to... I'll tell you what, we won't even analyse this too much in depth, but just give me your predictions for the Division 4, Division 3 and Division 2 title and playoffs. And because we did try this earlier and we spoke at length, but we haven't got the time. But Pavel, who's going up for you in Division 4? We know that who's going up as the top 2, but who's going to win it?
Yeah, for me, Sheffield United wins it, and Scunthorpe wins the playoffs.
Okay. So even though Northampton won at Sheffield United, you're still convinced Sheffield United are going up as champions? Hello?
Yeah, so I should move to Division 3, is that right?
Okay. Did you? I don't think you heard me. So you think Sheffield United...
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. And you think Scunthorpe in the playoffs?
Yes, the manager plays different kinds of tactics, and he adapts to the situation, so I think that he will win it.
We shall see. Mick, what's your thoughts?
To be honest, I think Northampton Town, they've got the momentum. I mean, Sheffield United are stuttering big style. Which team's got to play Grimsby yet?
Sheffield United.
See, that's going to be a big decider. If Sheffield United win that, I think they'll win the league. But that is such a massive game. If they lose that, I think Northampton's got quite smooth running. I think they'll win the last 2 games. So I think the big game in that decision is the Sheffield United Grimsby one.
All right.
And if it's a draw, mind you, if it's a draw, Sheffield United, because they've got a massive goal difference, so they may still go up.
And Mick,
you know
what about the playoffs? Who do you think's going up there?
I think Phil at Scunthorpe. I mean, he's been relegated last year, but he's kept a lot of his base players together, improved slightly, and I think he's got momentum. But I've noticed in a lot of game worlds that the team that finishes third, a lot of the time, don't win the playoffs.
I always say that.
They don't win the playoffs. So I mean, I could actually see Carlisle if you know, as a second punt, if I were a betting man. I still think Scunthorpe, looking at the team, but like I said, looking at what happens in other game worlds with the third place team usually.
All right. Okay.
Sorry, Rob. I think a lot of the teams in the playoffs, are they managed the last couple of games. I mean, if you manage the last couple of league games with the playoffs in mind, and maybe lose a game and rest the players.
Yeah.
You know, so they're 100% during playoffs. If you don't do that, you're in trouble.
Okay, let's hear from Gareth. Gareth, what's your thoughts?
Sheffield United will win it.
Yeah.
Northampton obviously second, and I fancy Cheltenham. I don't know why. Just something about them. I just think
Yeah.
I think they're going to nick it and go up.
All right. So this is what I think. I think James is a top guy, top bloke, and I know you're going to say something about him in a minute, Mick. But I think he will be disappointed if Sheffield United don't go up as champions. And I think that result the other day against Northampton was crucial. And I think Northampton are going to take it, and Sheffield United are going to stutter at Grimsby, and Northampton will go up as champions. I'm looking at the playoffs, and this is how I look at playoffs. I look at who's the best manager in a one-off game out of the 4 managers. I don't look at the teams, and I don't look at the points tally. I look at those 4 managers and what can they do. And out of those 4 managers, I think the Cheltenham manager is the best manager. So, and he didn't inherit Cheltenham at the beginning of the season. He's come in late. So I'm going to go with Cheltenham as well for playoffs. But Mick, did you want to say something about James?
I did. Obviously, one at previous conversation. I have to tip me up to James. He's been a great addition to TFF. I mean, he does his managers and his blogs and everything like that. And you know, this is what we need as a community, interactive between. And I mean, he picks players from all leagues and runs a team of the month or a team of the week. And I think he's been a cracking addition with effort he puts into. Obviously, he likes doing it, but with effort he puts into TFF, we need more like him.
I think everyone will second that. I know he's a family man and his time is limited, like a lot of you. I've tried to get him into other game worlds and he's not budging. You can't persuade him. He knows his own mind. So he's sticking with 2 game worlds at the moment. I'd love to get him on this panel show one day, but he's also said no to that. So I respect it. But he would be, out of all the people I've not had on, he would be my number 1 guest to come on. That's all I can say about James. He seems like a top guy. Right, on to Division 3. Wimbledon and Blackburn are promoted, so congratulations to both of them. And the playoffs, it's looking like, well, you got Reading, Orient, Wolves, Chesterfield. Very, very tough. The playoffs is going to be there. Pavel, what do you think?
Well, I think that Reading are the best team out of those 4 you mentioned. I mean, definitely. Reading, Clayton, Wolves and Chesterfield. But in the playoffs, you never know, actually. But I still think that Ali, this time, he will win the playoffs. Last year, he failed with Sheffield United. But this year, his team is too good. I mean, it would be a big letdown for him if he doesn't promote.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
That's a fair opinion, Pavel. The only thing is, Ali lost in the playoffs last year with Sheffield United.
Yeah, he did.
To Andrew, who is boss of Orient. And it would be a twist of fate if them two end up meeting again.
Yeah.
Because I respect both of them. They're both top managers. Do things very differently, but they're both top managers. Okay, what about you, Mick? Where's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I've come up against Ali in a number of game worlds, and tactical-wise, he's fantastic. But I have a little theory sometimes about these teams finishing in third. That if they're close, Ali isn't this time. If they're close to being in with a chance of automatic, even to the last game, they're putting the team out 100%, and therefore they go into playoffs with not players that are not 100%. Ali's got fortunate in this time because there's no chance of him getting automatic. So maybe at last 2 games he can actually rest quite a few of his A players.
Nick, I would be shocked if he's not. I'm sure Ali has already had that idea and has.
Yeah.
Knowing Ali, he has planned his team for the next 2 games. I wouldn't be surprised if Reading get beaten their next 2 games, to be honest.
Me also.
And knowing Ali, I would imagine Ali would not want to be facing Orient. So he's even thinking, right, I don't want to be in a position where I'm playing Orient. Now, that's the thing. If Reading drop to, I don't think it's possible. I think you're looking at Reading v Chesterfield and Wolves and Orient. And I think you're looking at a Reading Orient final.
To be honest, it's like a chess game.
Yeah,
getting into playoffs. It's who you rest and do you need to win this game?
Yeah, because you're thinking 2-3 games ahead. And in Ali's situation now, he can't get promoted. So why would he play his best team next game? You wouldn't.
Correct.
Who's going to?
No, you won't.
And Ali's a very shrewd whatever. So.
But I can see it as, like I say, I'll give you a second point. I can see Wolves doing the strong side, that finances behind them. They're on a run. And I can also, like I say, see Wolves.
We shall see.
maybe Reading.
Okay, Gareth, what's your thoughts?
Reading are going up in the playoffs, I think. Definitely. I think Ali's done a brilliant job there. As for the title, I want Blackburn to win it.
Of course you do.
Keith, brilliant job.
Is that
Can't say enough good things about
you want Blackburn to win it because you like Keith, or you want Blackburn to win it because you don't like Wimbledon?
No, no, Keith's a good bloke. I think he's done an excellent job there as well. Excellent job. And Wimbledon, they go up this year. I guarantee you they'll be in Division 4 in 2 seasons' time.
Yeah, we all agreed, I think, on that point that Wimbledon 2 promotions in a run, well done. But it's gonna. We know. I think we've all discussed this earlier. Wimbledon are not going to get promoted again next season. They are going to hit a ceiling. There isn't the players in the market to improve them again. You can go from Division 4 to Division 2 and add a bit and be okay. But Division 2 is a big jump from Division 3.
And I think
I
think next rating rise as well, Rob. I think Wimbledon are going to actually get clobbered.
Yeah, well, I've already saw it. They've already had a few go down already, and they've got a couple of players retiring.
yeah, but they will get a big investment from the chairman. I think something like much? 15, 20 millions. Yeah.
But Pavel, realistically, is 15, 20 million gonna do the business in Division 2? But what's that going to?
Well, he can survive, maybe.
Survive, yeah.
I don't think he will promote.
But what we're saying is the momentum with Wimbledon, the trajectory that Wimbledon's been on.
They can't promote, no. There's no way.
No, for me, the best Wimbledon can do now is just survive. And eventually, I expect them to plummet and go back down to where they belong.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the teams that are relegating from Division 1. I mean, it will be hard for us in Division 2 to promote, let alone Wimbledon.
All right, so I'm going to put this out there then. Does the Wimbledon boss deserve some credit because 2 promotions is 2 promotions?
Yeah.
It does, but like I said, a fading team. We know Division 2 many a times on these panel shows. Division 2 is an absolute dogfight. It were last season. It's even worse this season. I mean, I survived on 28 points. You've got Brighton now in a relegation. Last season I survived on 28. You've got Brighton now in a division where the 39 points with 2 games to go and still in a relegation zone. If he's coming up with a team like that, he's going to have a big shock if he starts getting some fallers. It's really a dogfight.
Okay, lads, let's quickly move on to Division 2. Very, very interesting. Pavel, you're in it, right in it. Mick, you're in Division 2 flying. 6 teams can go down. 2 have already dropped. And at the other end, it's looking. I still can't decide who's going up. None of the positions. Yeah. The only question remains is Swansea or QPR going to make the last playoff spot, and then who's going to be in the playoffs and who's going to go up. I cannot decide, so I'm going to pass the buck. Pavel, what do you think?
Well, I think that Mark Stewart at Gillingham has done a tremendous job. I mean, look at his squad. He's managed to build the good core of the team, and he's managed to save up also on some cash so he can invest if he sees a good opportunity. I mean, he's doing a very good job, so I think that he will go up. Although Aston Villa, Sheffield Wednesday, Queen's Park Rangers, Swansea, they are, I mean, very high value. I just can't believe that Wigan and Bournemouth are fighting for the top 2 places, and of course Gillingham. For me, this is just crazy.
Yeah. Those top 3 managers, Dan Smith, Mark, Yusuf, and Nick Ford did a good job this season at Wigan when they were flying, and Yusuf's come on, and Yusuf's done very, very well. So Wigan have had 3 good managers in TFF, I think. So, yeah, what about you, Mick? What do you think?
Well, I've just had a quick look at schedule, and I think Swansea will nick that last playoff. I'm nearly sure they will. I mean, QPR's got Bournemouth has won at games. Bournemouth are fighting tooth and nail to get 1, they've a chance at Championship. 2, they're fighting so they can get automatic promotion. I think QPR will certainly struggle with that game against Bournemouth. And Swansea have got Forest and Derby. Yeah. Hammers really is like me now. He's nothing to play for. It's time to mess about and maybe change his formation, see if he can get something that he starts off next season on a flying start. And I know Derby are fighting for their lives, but at the end of the season, Rob, you're 16th place after 36 games because you deserve to be 16th place.
Definitely. Gareth, what's your thoughts?
It's tight. It's so tight. I say we're going to go up as champions. I just think they're on a hell of a run at the moment. Unreal run.
Do you think Aston Villa have blown it again?
Yeah, after the last game I do. But I fancy them for the playoffs. Because Queen's Park Rangers, Swansea, they're going to have to play their strong team just to even get into the playoffs.
Again, yeah, that's true. So really, if you're Wednesday or Villa, you're probably in the best position because you're not going to go up, so you're not going to bother. If Wednesday or Villa are in a very good position here, if they're smart, which I think they will be.
Even then, playing a weak team now. I'll be playing a weak team for the last 2 games.
Whereas Gillingham, Bournemouth and Wigan, only 2 of those 3 can go up, and obviously they've got to go for it. So, yeah. So
I think whoever wins that playoff will probably go up.
Well, I tipped Nick Dunks at Wednesday, so I've got to stick with that. But you...
To be honest...
Yeah.
Sorry, Rob, I'm not... To be honest, though, it's like that theory I said before. Your Bournemouth and your Gillinghams are going to be scrapping to the last game of the season.
That's right.
Right? And Gillingham, if things are the Bournemouth or Gillingham, are going to go into the playoffs with some of the best players, not 100%. Yeah. Whereas your Villas, your Wednesdays, QPR or Swanseas, they'll also go into the playoffs with players not 100% QPR or Swansea. But your Aston Villa and your Wednesday can now do exactly the same. Can rest players. So I could see one of them two going up.
Very much. And they're big clubs anyway. They belong in Division 1. Let's go straight to the title race. Now, I think it's fair to say that it's now 3 becomes 2. Arsenal, not mathematically, but almost certainly out of the race with a bad defeat at home to Man City. I'm sorry, Ben, but it's still going to be bridesmaid Ben for now. So that leaves Liverpool or Chelsea. Where's your money on, fellas? Pavel?
For me, Liverpool wins it. They have easier schedule, and Johnny has proven himself as a very good manager. I mean, with Sheffield Wednesday, he got them to the playoffs, and I mean, very, very, very good. I mean, I'm surprised, honestly, that he was able to do the same with Liverpool.
I'm not.
Obviously, he's a manager of quality.
No, I know Johnny well, and every league I've ever been in with Johnny, he's up there competing, and also he knows the Russian market really well. So he finds players I've never heard of, and I know that he left Sheffield Wednesday on a good platform. So for me, I don't see Liverpool slipping up. They did in real life, but I don't see them slipping up in soccer manager.
We don't need to mention that though, do we?
Yeah, you're a Liverpool fan, aren't you, Gareth?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
But this is the thing as well. I don't know if this makes any difference, but Johnny is a passionate Liverpool fan, as passionate as they come. I've sat and watched many a Liverpool match with him in a pub, and I do think that makes a little tiny bit of difference when you manage your own team.
Yeah, yes, it does, Rob.
Look at Richie, what he's doing with Leeds in every game work he plays in.
And I think, Gareth, if memory serves me right, in the original TFF, you started at Palace and went to Liverpool, is that right?
Yeah, I just got the Liverpool job. Yeah. Just got it.
Yeah, and then it collapsed.
Yeah.
My memory's good. So Gareth, you were in the original TFF. In fact, all 3 of you were, weren't you?
Yeah, we were.
So I've got original TFFs tonight. This is an authentic TFF. Mick, what do you think about the title race?
I've just had a look at schedule. Liverpool, Burnley, Watford.
No, Liverpool, Watford. No, that's not going to be easy, is it? No,
not really. But but your Chelsea's got Man United and Arsenal.
For me, lads, it's Liverpool. It's Liverpool's title.
And there's a 2-point gap already. It's Liverpool for me all the way. I can't even see.
Nah.
I can't see it being any other.
Yeah, Gareth, do I need to ask you? Or I'm pretty sure you can.
Yeah, I think next game decides it.
But Liverpool are on a winning run. Johnny's not daft.
They are. They're on a winning run, but credit to Glenn at Chelsea. He's done a good job.
He got a lot of stick last season, and I think
big time.
And I think that was fair. I don't think there was anything.
No, it was.
They were poor.
That was just.
But this year he's won a cup. He's been right in a league title race. He's doing what you should be doing at Chelsea. Is that not fair to say?
Yeah.
So he's doing a good job. Yeah.
I fancy Liverpool. I do fancy Liverpool, but
all right.
And he's done the business there. So
all right, then let's do this. Let's very quickly then. I'll give you one choice each. If you had to choose, and it could be any division, and it doesn't have to be a team at the top of the table. But who would your personal manager of the year be? Who's really impressed you? Pavel.
For me, it's Mark Stewart at Gillingham. I already said why. I mean,
good shout.
For me, he's playing the right way.
All right, Asha. Go on, Mick.
Let me have a think.
I'll come back to Gareth. Gareth, what do you think?
See, I've got a couple, but if I had to go for one, I'd say Noisy at Watford. I think he's punched well above his weight, well above.
Yeah, he's signed high-rated players, but that's so what, he's done what he had to do at Watford. They're a small club in Division 1. To be honest, Watford wouldn't even be in the top 10 size in Division 2, so that's a really good shout.
He's done an amazing job there.
But he's a very experienced manager, Noisy. Yeah. Who was the other one, just out of interest?
I had three. I had Noisy, Mark, and who was the other one? Oh, Yusuf at Wigan.
Can't argue with any of those. And Mick, you thought of one?
Yeah, I mean, I'll look at same with. I'm not just jumping on back, but same with Noisy, and actually Pavel. Gareth at Crystal Palace. I mean, you're talking about. You see your Liverpools, your Man U's, they're doing what you expect them to do. That they're the big clubs, big attendances. It's when you see these little clubs like Watford, and I know what it's like to struggle financially. Crystal Palace, and they're up there. They're above your They're above your Man Cities. They're above Tottenham. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're above your Newcastles. With such high attendances and revenue that they're getting, and you've got to hats off to these two guys. I mean, Gareth's not going to vote himself, but you just look at Crystal Palace in 8th place.
Yeah, no, I agree with all that. Just add a couple then. All of the ones you said are obvious ones, so I can't argue with any of them. They've all done great. I want to say Chris Stapps at Northampton's been brilliant. I also think Keith at Blackburn has done an incredible job, and Keith.
Only one loss.
Yeah, and I've played against him a few times, and I think I've beaten him once. I think I've lost to him once, and I think there's been about 5 draws. He's very difficult to beat, and the other one as well. I think the Peterborough boss is doing a good job, and I look for different things. I don't always look for the big teams at the top of the table, and I think Mick at Barnsley, not just because you're here. I've said it when you're not here, but you're doing a great job, and you alluded to the fact as well that Gareth is doing a similar job at Palace to what you're doing at Barnsley.
He is, yeah.
But I just know Division 2 how hard it is, and your budget and everything else. I think Mick, you would be in contention. Your name should be in the reckoning. But yeah, all of those managers that you mentioned are doing well. So that concludes that, and then this was just one. How much time we got, Gareth? Have you got another couple of minutes?
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
This is one thing that happened to me this week, and I'm not even going to name names. I'm not going to dig people out because it's not. I just want to put it out there and see what you think. When new players arrive on the database, so like your 18, 19-year-old, 70 rated, and they start, and they might be 120,000, and then maybe 48 hours later, the price doubles. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I'm just putting it out there. So, for example, I'm Southend. I put in a bid for a player, and then about 12 hours later, a big club bids as well. Now, I'm saying, is that okay? Is that fair? But the other guy's done nothing wrong. There's no rules. But could there be like a 48-hour point where only Division 4, Division 3 clubs have first option on those new players in the database. Is that something worth considering, or not at all? Just carry on as we are. Anyone want to say anything about that?
I do.
Go on, Mick.
Let me have a rant, and I'll carry on for the same rant as I said at the beginning of the season.
Bear in mind, Gareth's not got long left, Mick.
All right.
You go on a rant.
For this world to survive, it's not. I know it's about winning and everything else, but we enjoy this game world, and we've said it on first panel show I did, Rob. You've got to keep the wheels turning. If you don't keep the wheels turning, and we were talking about squad caps at that time, obviously this is a little bit different. If you don't keep the wheels turning and give the smaller clubs a chance, there's a possibility for them to grow into big clubs by signing and nurturing these young players. You're going to have a dead game world eventually, because you're going to have the top teams. Maybe this should be the top two divisions cannot sign anybody below, say, 80.
Well, I think that's probably too radical, and I think too many people will be up in arms at that. But I just thought a very small thing is the.
No, I wasn't saying that's an exact figure, but what I'm saying is you've got to keep the wheels turning in the league.
Mick, we're on the same page, and I agree with it. But I just thought a very small thing could be: can the Division 1 and 2 clubs not go for the very young and low-rated and young players that have just come on the database? Give the smaller clubs a tiny little chance to make a little bit of money. Can they?
I agree.
And I don't think it's asking a lot, but it's just my opinion. Pavel, what do you think?
I actually agree with you and disagree with you at the same time, because you see, for example, let's in Division 2. We are not going to promote because Division 1 is too rich now. I mean, they get the ones who promote from Division 2 get 50 million investment, and then even if they relegate, they are too far ahead. So we can't fight with them. And I'm actually going to give you one example. So I had Van de Beek and now De Ligt. I got them early on. I mean, it wasn't me, it was the previous manager, but now I can exchange them for better players. So I agree with you that the lower division clubs should get, I mean, the youngsters, but they don't want to exchange them. They're just waiting. I mean, it's pointless. It's pointless.
And Gareth, you got any thoughts on that?
Agree and disagree. It's a difficult one. Yeah. So I've got a player I picked up a little while ago, Flynn Downs. Plays for Ipswich in real life. He's out on loan at Luton. Yeah. He's one I'd heard a little bit about. Highly rated at Ipswich. They really like him. He's under 19 for England as well. Would I be a little bit angry if, just for argument's sake, when he came on, if a Division 3 club had bid for him, but I couldn't get onto the game for 12 hours? Yeah. It's one of them. Yes, yeah. I do agree. I do agree that Division 3 and Division 4 should be helped out a little bit. We've got to keep it fresh, otherwise, like Mick said, it's going to die. It's just going to...
Well, I think to just put a final whatever on that discussion, all I would say is, yes, you will be frustrated as an individual manager, but is the health and the longevity of the game world overriding of a minor frustration on an individual's part? Because ultimately, if the game world dies down in about 5 seasons, no one's going to be playing and no one's going to have a team anyway. So it's in everyone's interest that the game world prospers.
Yeah, totally.
All right, and then listen, we've managed to do this quite quick tonight because we're all on a bit of a time, whatever. Mark Rowlands, the Newcastle manager, messaged me and said, "Can I bring up manager of the month? Is there any way we can improve it? Is everyone happy with how it's being run? Is there anything we could do to change it?" So I'm just putting it out there for you three. Pavel, manager of the month awards.
Well, I believe I've already pointed it out before in the newsfeed that I don't think that there needs to be. I mean, it's the manager of the month is the one who performs the best. I mean, that's obviously the one who gets the most points. It doesn't matter if his squad value or ratings or anything.
So you think it's flawed? You're saying it's flawed, basically.
Yeah, but we can. But you can create another vote, for example, for most overachieving manager, for example, where we can have a discussion and something like that. because I don't see how we can have a discussion or a vote when it's obvious who has the most points over a certain month. I mean,
yeah. And obviously, you could have a team very low rated that pick up 9 points, and a team much better pick up 15. And it's who's to say the lower rated didn't have a better, you know. So I take your point, Pavel. Mick, what do you say?
Well, let's be honest. Most players in here, I mean, we've been asked to compare cup games and this, that, other, but most players won't troll through a team and whether they've had a decent running cup. All they'll look on is the blues and the reds and the greens. And I hold my hand up, I do the same. I don't necessarily go on league position, but I look at how many greens they've got across that league form over that period of time. And I usually vote for them that way.
Yeah, I suppose most people do.
If you make it too complicated, people will just not do it.
Yeah. Gareth?
I'm with Mick. I think I can't really disagree with what you said. I'm the same. I'll look at the blue and green and then base my pick off that.
Yeah, I think we're all guilty of that. Right, we're at the point now where if you three just have anything you want to add, because that's me done. Any other business?
Not from me. I mean,
not from you.
I just hope that I won't relegate and we can play again next year. I can play against Mick next year, so that I can beat him this time.
Yeah.
Because this year I couldn't.
Fair enough. Yeah. Gareth, you got anything?
No, just like cheers for everything you do. Cheers for everything that everyone does. Really, it's just like this is one of the best game worlds I've ever been in. So I can't say enough good things about it.
Yeah, we're a little community, and I suppose we've got 4 grown men talking about a virtual soccer manager game. It is a bit daft, isn't it? What are we all like? We are a bit daft. But then I think about it. Is it so bad? Is it so bad really? Because it's
we're not.
At the end of the day, we all spend a lot of time playing Soccer Manager. We all like it. So, okay, this is extreme. We're having a panel show and all the rest of it, but that's just adding a little bit of dimension and a bit of realism to something that we already spend a lot of time doing anyway. For all of us, it's a good hobby.
Can I just put something out there for everybody to hear? We've rerun this panel show quite a few times because of a bad connection in Russia.
And I'm really hoping this comes out. And if it doesn't come out, I apologise to you three.
This is what I'm trying. This is my point I'm trying to make, Rob. Yeah, we've seen you apologise to us like it's you put in your time. It's not your fault if there's a bad connection. You've got to stop beating yourself up when some of these panel shows don't quite work.
No, but
if you put in everything, we had a show. You're making it out as though it's your fault, mate. And
no, it's just frustrating because you get people on, and it's hard enough getting people on. It is, and when people agree to come on, you really don't want the hour to be wasted or whatever it is. It's been 2 hours, and I had a brilliant panel show with Nick Dunks, Paul, and Rory, and it didn't come out, and I was so gutted, really pissed off. And
but it's not your fault, Paul.
No, but it's just I know that with good internet connection and
blame the Russians.
Yeah. No, where I live, the internet connection is brilliant because there's only about 8 of us on a huge gated community. But now I'm in a hotel and everyone's on the internet. But the point I'm saying is we've got nearly 40 people on this panel show now, or the one-to-one interviews. No other game world's got this. We've got a really good little community, and it's been nice getting to know people and chat to people. There's a few guys that I consider friends now. It's a really good community.
And eventually, slowly but surely, we're ironing out these managers that don't take the time, that are not turning up, are not logging in. And I know it's a period of 2 years now, but eventually we're getting a full league, are active managers on. You scroll that screen when it says when the last been on today,
That's true.
every day.
Mick, I thought the exact same thing, and I said that in the Facebook group the other day now. Somebody was wanting to come in and they wanted, I think it was Richie was asking about the inactivity, and I was like, there's only 2 or 3 clubs inactive. We're getting rid of most of the, I've got a bugbear about fake names, Jose this and Carlos Kickerball this, and I prefer people to just be themselves and have a bit of transparency. And I really don't think there's any game world to compete with TFF. I know people were worried about a new game world that's just opened up, but I really never. TFF is my baby, and I think it's still the best out there. But I know there's other good game worlds out there, but for me, TFF is the one.
Yeah.
It's the first result I look for anyway. And I wasn't.
It's one of these where, and I mean, I said this on Facebook the other day, you know, I'm in quite a few game worlds and I can win in a lot of others. And if I've lost in this, I've had a bad night.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, for me, not right now because I'm not invested in Southend, but when I was running Colchester, I would be nervous on a Thursday and a Sunday. This is a grown man waiting for a made-up score on a game engine in a virtual game world. As a grown man of 40 years of age, getting nervous. It's bloody ridiculous. And and what makes it worse is if you're in the Facebook group and you lose, you've got people at Rob Harris, and you've got gifs and all that. And in that moment, I want to punch him in the face. And and you've got a few managers that when they lose, they go hiding. They don't. And then only when they win are they singing and dancing. Hammer. And, you know, you've got a few managers like that.
You're about taking the piss, aren't they?
Yeah, and seriously, I'm like, fuck off. So I try, if I win, I don't post my wins so much, unless I beat Ali, then I post. I try not to gloat or be too big-headed because I know what it feels like when you lose, and we've got a few managers that really love sticking it in.
And if you gloat, it usually comes back to bite you in the arse anyway.
Yeah, the amount of game worlds we're all in now, and we're all playing each other, they're getting so hard and competitive that, okay, you might win one week, but the same guy's going to beat you at some point later on. We can say certain managers are maybe slightly better than certain managers, but there isn't a huge amount in it for the most part. I think we're all similar level, really. We all kind of know what we're doing. I'm getting better myself at the scouting. There's a lot of people much better than me at that, but
there's some good at scouting. There's some good at tactics.
Yeah. But TFF's got a lot harder. There's no easy games now, and it's just getting harder and harder. So, anyway, lads, I don't want to take any more of your time. I think we'll cut it there. So, thanks very much for coming on.
Cheers, Rob.
No,
let's just pray this works and comes out. I really hope this comes out. All right. See you later.
See you later.
All right.
Cheers.
See you later.